Namaskaram, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, sloka 9. In this sloka, Lord Krishna says, those who understand the divine nature of my birth and my activities, O Arjuna, living upon body, do not have to take birth again, but come to my eternal abode. So he gives moksha to the people who understand his avatar, who understand his leelas. So through this loka, we understand people who have faith in God. They understand him. So God's actions are divine, and such actions are called leelas. What we do is work, karma, and his birth is divine, and we are born out of our karma. And God's actions are always for the welfare of the conditioned, materially conditioned souls. He doesn't do action for his own benefit. He never does it. And there is no need for him to get any name or personal bliss by doing the action. So whatever he does, it is for the devotees. It is for the people. And it is for protecting them from demons or from the Rakshasas or from adharma. So he takes avatar only to protect people. So whenever there is a need, he comes. He descends. So the descension of God. And when we understand this, the divinity, when we understand the nature of his birth, then we do not identify ourselves with body, mind and intellect. Jivatma identifies himself with mind, body and intellect, and the birth is based on karmas. If we understand the God's divinity, the nature of the birth of God, that is his avataram and his leelas, we are not attached with our body, mind, and because we have developed devotion and we have followed the karma yoga path, and we are into the path of God realization. So before that, we are taking our efforts to understand Atma. So to understand Atma, God has shown us the path. So that is karma yoga. So to karma, because we have to remove the karma vasanas. For that, we should not get attached with the mind, body and intellect. We have to remove the karmas, because the karmas only decide our birth. Prakriti only performs action. We should know this. We should understand this. Maya performs the actions. Ishvara does not perform action. So Jiva also does not perform, because Jiva is a part of Ishvara. So Jiva is a fragment of Paramatma. When Paramatma does not do it, the Jiva also does not do that. So all the actions are done by Prakriti. So don't get attached to that. So how do you develop all that? You need to have bhakti. You need to have devotion towards God. So when we talk about devotion, we should understand that God's actions are always for the benefit of materially conditioned souls. He has no personal benefit, or he doesn't do for his own benefit. He does the actions only to protect the people, only for the benefit of all the creatures on the earth. So that is why his actions are known as leelas. What we do is known as karma or work. So his birth is divine, and we worship him by giving him forms and names. We worship him in different forms. So formless and personal form. So we can follow both. But worshipping the Rupa, worshipping the personal form of God is simple for us. So we worship Rama, we worship Krishna. So that is according to our wish. So in whichever form we like, we like to have God in our mind. We do that. So the personal form of worship is simple for us because we have that form and we keep it in our mind and we think of Him. So to think of Him, it is better for us to have a form. That is why it is mentioned that it is simple. So anything has a form, it is easy for us to remember and easy for us to keep in our thoughts. So that is why we worship the personal form of God. So when you say personal form, God manifests. We have seen this in the previous sloka. So God manifests in different forms. And God manifests in different personalities. Krishna manifested before Vasudeva and Devaki. And when he manifested, that is when he showed his form to Vasudeva and Devaki, he was born to them. But that was a manifestation. So he gave them the darshan with 4 arms and with changa and chakra, conch and discus. Then Vasudeva felt, no, that is not safe. So he requested Krishna to be with only 2 arms and let him be like a very normal child, normal human child. Immediately, Krishna followed it. He obeyed his father's words right from the moment he was born. So the changa and chakra and the extra 2 arms disappeared. So he remained with only 2 arms throughout that avatar. So he does only for the welfare of others, and whatever he does, it is for the pleasure of others. And he appears in the form which is wished by the devotees. For example, many rishis, they like to worship Lord Vishnu in different forms. Here in Tirukovalur, the rishi he did penance and he wished to have a darshan of Lord Vishnu in Vamana Avatara. Because of his penance, Lord Vishnu was impressed and he gave darshan in the form of Vamana Avatara. Then again he did penance and he wished to have darshan in the form of Trivikrama. God did that because he did penance on him. So he was very much impressed by the bhakti, the devotion shown by the rishi. So he appeared to him in the form of Trivikraman. So even today we have the Mulavar, Tiruvikraman in Tirukovilur. In the form of the hand, we can have darshan of the rishi inside the Garbhagraha. So, Alvars wish to have darshan of Lord Vishnu in different forms. As they wished, Perumal appeared because they were all very dear devotees for him. So he takes that avataram or he presents himself in various forms as per the wish of devotees. So he loves his devotees. So here we have got different forms. So worshipping the personal form of God is very simple for us. So when you develop devotion, so you keep your God in your mind. So naturally that jiva is not getting itself identified with mind, body, intellect because he has kept the form of God in his mind. So what happens? The mind gets purified, so the karma vasanas are gone. So this is what we learn from this 9th sloka. This is a message given by Lord. Those who have devotion in Him, those who love Him, those who follow His teachings, those who understand the divinity, the nature of his birth and his leelas, are blessed by moksha.